already in week 3 of our series, Coats and Shackles. When we last saw Joseph, he was sold by his brothers into slavery and is headed towards Egypt with his new owners. Things are looking pretty crazy for poor Joseph, but it's all about to get a little better for him. A very important man is going to buy him from the visiting traders. Our focus today is on honoring God. What does the word honor mean? The definition of honor is high respect, respect that is given to someone who deserves it. It is when we show good behavior and good character. Let's play a quick game. I'm going to say a statement, and if it's honoring, stand up wherever you're watching. If it's not honoring, sit down, okay? Ready? Your teacher asks you to put your school supplies away, and instead you start to talk with your friends. Is that honoring or dishonoring? Are you standing up? I hope you're sitting down, because that's not honoring. You're playing outside and your dad tells you to come in for dinner. You decide to tell your friends, I have to leave, and you go inside and have dinner. Is that honoring or dishonoring? That's honoring, so you can be standing up for that one. Your mom tells you to clean your room and you march upstairs and angrily start stomping and throwing everything into place. Is that honoring? I hope you're sitting down. It's not. You're in kids' church and you see scraps of trash lying around. You pick them up without anybody even asking you to. Is that honoring or dishonoring? I hope you're standing up, because that's honoring. Your friend had some embarrassing thing happen to him, and you tell everyone about it. Is that honoring or not honoring? I hope you're sitting down, because that's not honoring. Your oldest brother is studying for his exam, so you make sure you're nice and quiet so that you don't disturb him. Is that honoring or dishonoring? That's honoring. I hope you're standing up. Let's continue to think of ways we can honor others as we learn more about Joseph in our story.
You'll never believe what happened to me last night.
Oh yeah? Tell me about it.
A spaceship landed in my backyard.
That is unreal.
Yeah, unfortunately, it crushed my scooter.
Well, that stinks.
But it's okay. It was my sister's scooter.
Well, that stinks for her.
The spaceship door opened,
Really?
but the door crushed my scooter.
Well, that's a bummer.
It's okay if the spaceship was full of minions.
Well, that's pretty awesome.
But I mean, they were the mean purple minions.
Uh-oh.
It's okay. I had a jelly gun.
Oh, perfect.
Too bad it wasn't actually a jelly gun.
Huh? What was it?
It was actually a confetti cannon.
Sounds like a party.
Well, it should have been. But I accidentally hit the spaceship's launch button.
Oh my goodness, that's terrible.
No worries, I headed into space.
Exciting.
But then I remembered the doors were still open.
Did you fall out?
No, then I woke up.
Wait, it was a dream?
Yep.
That was the weirdest story I've ever heard. Today, as we jump back into learning more about the life of Joseph, we're going to hear more about his many ups and downs. So the Midianites sold Joseph into Egypt to a man named Potiphar. Now, Potiphar was no ordinary man. He was an officer of Pharaoh, the ruler of the land, and he was the captain of the guard. The Bible tells us that the Lord was with Joseph and that he was a successful man. It says that in Genesis chapter 3. Now, Joseph lived in Potiphar's house, and God blessed him because Joseph acted so honorably. Potiphar liked him an awful lot and put him in charge of his entire household. Everything that Potiphar owned was under Joseph's care. He was the man in charge. God began to bless Potiphar's house because Joseph was there. Joseph, he stayed faithful and showed good character and good behavior. Now, is this always easy to do? No way. It would have been so easy for Joseph to get upset and have a bad attitude. After all, he had been sold into slavery by his brothers. That's horrible. But through it all, Joseph continued to do what was right. Joseph lived out honoring God and stayed faithful to his plan. Joseph is rising in ranks and power. He's the man in charge, but he is about to have to run for his life because someone is going to tell a lie about him. This is where we're going to pause our story for this week. So stay tuned for next week to find out who lies about Joseph and why Joseph has to run.
Hi Journey Kids! Welcome to our memory verse. I hope you guys have been practicing. Let's get into it. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. Did you guys get that? I hope you guys got that. Let's do that a couple more times, all right? So, for I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. Did you guys get that last bit? Are you guys doing the actions? Okay. I think you guys are doing it. All right. One final time. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. Now that is a pretty cool promise. We'll see you guys next week. And right now, we're going to go to our next thing.
Our job is to honor God and stay faithful to him. The Bible tells us that when we are faithful, God will bless us. Matthew 25:21 and Proverbs 28:20. Although Joseph was in a tough situation, he still honored Potiphar. Because of this, Joseph was eventually put in charge of Potiphar's entire household. That is what happens when we're faithful. God blesses us for our faithfulness. To finish today, we're going to pray. If it helps you to close your eyes and fold your hands to focus on talking to God, you can do that now. Dear Jesus, thank you for all the examples you give us in the Bible of how we should be, how we should honor you, and thank you that Joseph was a good example of this. Help us to learn to do that in our lives too, and thank you for loving us. Please give us a great week. Amen. So as you go through your week, see if you can find ways to honor God and the people around you like Joseph did. We can't wait to continue this story next week, so stay tuned.